Ukraine's second city, Kharkiv, just 20 miles from the Russian border, has been pounded week in, week out since the full-scale invasion began. In the early hours of this morning, the latest strike. 5 people were killed, 25 injured, including 2 children. This man was working a night shift when he got the call to come home. His wife and daughter were asleep in their apartment when the missile hit. A neighbor explains on his behalf.
His daughter and wife are under the rubble. He was on a 24-hour shift when he got the call to come home. They're still in there. I'm in shock.
So he waits for a call from them. We don't know whether it ever came or not. What's left of the city of Ovchansk, same district, practically buttresses the border. The Russians have been amassing troops near here, feeding a new front opened up close by. They've continued to launch missiles from inside Russia at cities like this in the Kharkiv Oblast, taking advantage of the fact that Ukrainians were not supposed to use US-supplied weapons to strike back against targets inside Russia. Washington feared escalation. Yesterday, President Biden lifted some of those restrictions. Antony Blinken at a NATO meeting in Prague today.
Over the past few weeks, Ukraine came to us and asked for the authorization to use weapons that we're providing to defend against this aggression, including against Russian forces that are massing on the Russian side of the border and then attacking into Ukraine. That went right to the president, and as you've heard, he's approved the use of our weapons for that purpose.
Germany followed suit today. Countries like Britain and France had already given the green light. Russia accused NATO and the US of, quote, provoking a new level of tension. The new permission applies to surface-to-surface missiles with a 150-mile range. Restrictions still apply to longer-range systems hitting targets deeper inside Russia. The drip feed of permission and delayed delivery, a frustration for those actually manning the barricades in Ukraine, something we put to a former US general and CIA director.
Inevitably, at the end of the day, we all finally say yes. But in the meantime, time is lost, and you can't regain that time. If you think back to the factors that undermined the summer counteroffensive last year, it was the delay in the U.S. decision on the M1 Abrams tanks, which meant they were not there for the offensive. These delays have to be very frustrating for the Ukrainians, who are fighting for their very independence and survival.
And that is arguably the most pressing issue for Ukraine right now. How to keep rotating in rested soldiers into a battlefield that looks like this.